the channel. I've been reading the comments. There was quite a few comments about my riding gear, or must I rather say the lack thereof. So I just wanted to illustrate the point. I am fully aware I should wear the gear, but I am in South Africa and it is a scorching 30 degrees Celsius. And there we have it. How better can we pay tribute to a GP race bike? There was a few year models, 92 to 95 were the first year models with the purple color scheme. The Pacific 90s look alike, the rounded shape, the square head, like the way I remember bikes. Almost reminds me of an old CBR F4, F3 color scheme. Disco colors and all that. 2-year production, 2-3-year production, depending on where you were in the world. They still had a 3-spoke rim, but it had more of the Mille look, the rounded look. As you all know, the rear tail lights of the Mille, the 1000cc V-twin Aprilia. And then the year after that had the newer look, the newest RSV look to it, and I went to a 5-spoke rim. And then that's the one I actually remember, the 2005 model. And then from 2006, the last 6 years, that's past the production run. They went to, they call it a machine rim, or a knockoff or a tribute to it. And this is a 2011 built and sold in 2012. While scratching around for this bike, I actually found out that in 2006, when this model was launched, specifically in South Africa, it was 40,000 Rand new. So if I think back to 2006, I bought a Hyosung around that time, December 2005, and that was about 55,000 Rand if I think. SV1000 was in the 60s in 2007. So it must have been a lot of money back then, especially for 125. But this is not your ordinary 125cc. I had RZ 125s and a TZR later years, and my TZR RZ did not come out with a lap timer or radial mounted calipers. So I'll quickly bring you for a close-up to the bike, and then we'll go for a ride around the block. So as I mentioned, this is actually a 2011 model, and look at that radial mounted caliper. Isn't that just crazy? So the person that I'm borrowing this bike for this video bought it from a lady. It is a one owner machine. She was the original owner and only owner, and on the ID number you will notice that she was in fact the first owner, and by that time that she had it, she must have been in school. So she had this motorcycle since new until a few years ago, which now, you know, it's 13 years later. So just another little tidbit about the RS125. It had a Rotax motor. So Rotax did change. It was called the Rotax 122, and then I went to a 123 somewhere down the line. I know that certain markets got the motor before other markets, but Rotax are known for microlights. That's how I've become to know them. People used to refer to them as the microlight engines. Very liable, because if you can't park an aeroplane or a moving object in the sky next to the road if you're having engine trouble. So they got a reputation. I think they also built the Fundero 650 motors. There was the rumor that they built the 1125 Buell motor actually for Aprilia, but Aprilia in that year then decided they're going to go with the RSV4, the V4 plant. So they did not use the Rotax motor, which then eventually ended up in the Buell, the 1125 Buell, which then I assume then evolved into the 1190, or that was a new plant, I'm not sure. But it's quite cool. So it has a Rotax motor, and it was probably, as far as I know, one of the last two-strokes sold in 2012 at least. The later models that I know of was, for example, the LS 125. The TZRs ran up into the 90s, and then before it, the RZs, the 80s, the bikes that I know and owned. But I never knew that they built this up to 2012. As I mentioned, this is a 2011 manufactured but sold in 2012, so a 2012 model essentially, which is then makes it one of the last years. It's very cool. So let's go for a quick ride and let's see what the hype is about, if it was as good as they say it was, or maybe not. I know a lot of people say that these 125s punch way above their class, and I know the RS250s, they're all ass. Oh, beautiful. Crazy is that. Oh, it's light. Nimble. So you could actually buy these as well in a track kit, apparently, even in South Africa. So I'm guessing it's just not registered, and yeah. No lights, stuff like that. Crazy. Time to get out of here. Whew, the wind. So I'll have to fix this trailer. I'll put a picture of the trailer here. It's about a year ago now. Okay, let's go for a ride. Fun. That's the first ride and I'm already smiling. Crazy. It's charging 14 volts. Lap timer, there it is. Crazy. 20,000 k, so it should theoretically have its second piston. Well, I had it at 20,000 k's. I doubt that anybody did it. And that shaped it, 99, 2005, that shape, I knew a guy that had one of those. It was fast, it was very, very fast. But it lived in his folks' shed. You call it garden shed in the back, windy house, we call it. Because as I mentioned about that sweet nickel barrel, so unfortunately also the downside. Yeah. No. It takes a while to get up to the power band. Once it's in the power band, yes. We'll have to take this one past the wall. Spicy. Yeah. Definitely a ready motor. Definitely a ready motor. Yeah. So much fun, yeah. Yeah, it drifts up, eh? It's a very heavy motor. Yeah. Brakes, suspension, it's a bit hard for the road. Wind and sand ish. Let's close my mind on this one. Oh, after the sound as well. You can hear when the power wants to come in. It just wants to live there. Oh, this is so nice. Oh, look how beautiful that is, eh? Got a fairly forward position. I'm sitting like I sit on a race bike, standing basically on the foot pegs with the balls of my feet. Nice Harley. Yeah, this brake, so it's got a radial mounted caliper. I glanced over that fact. So a normal caliper mounts to the side of the shock tower, lower leg, what you want to call it. So radial mounts this way around. Yeah, well, you'll see, but I'll insert a photo with the differences. And I could never imagine that it makes a real difference. It's just the mounting, you know, the force still goes through the bolt or the hanger. Sorry. Such a nice sound. So I'm not sure if it's just the pads or the lightness or whatever, but yes, this thing will stop on a dime. Oh, this is so cool, so cool, very nice. Yeah, light, yeah. Almost feels like a surgical knife. You can cut through anything. Very hard suspension. But it is an RS. Yeah. The racing heritage does come through there. 2012 Aprilia RS125. Look at it. Yeah. Quite cool. Yeah, man, it just wants you to put more gears in it, and this brakes. Oh, I must say, overall, this is a peach. I would not daily commute it. I would rather jump on that DT50. It's a bit slow probably for daily commuting, or that X5, the 200, sitting up straight. But yeah, this is not bad. It's not super uncomfortable. But it's definitely sporty. The suspension is hard. The brakes are precise. It's a track tool, track weapon. Lap timer built in. It's crazy. But jeez, I'm gonna say this motor. It pulls straight through. Quite cool. So Rotax, it's like a Rolex. If you have a Rotax motor, then you know it's just very, very cumbersome to maintain. As I mentioned, I recommend every 10,000 Ks that you swap out the piston, and if something happens to the barrel, that you have to re-nickel. And as far as I know, people usually replace the barrels. As I mentioned, there's one place in Kreersdorp in South Africa I know of that does a fairly right job at it, but I still can't get it right every time. As I mentioned of the friend, he had its XCW 200, I think it was, on the bench after the rebuild, and started it up, and yeah, just ate the nickel right off. Brrr. So yeah, hit and a miss. Hey. Oh, make a little room. I want to pass you, man. This 1 to 5 doesn't wait for anybody. Oh man. Should we quickly go see what the top end is? See where it bottoms out. So yeah, they used the Nickel Porsches, I didn't know that, on most of the air-cooled Porsches, but specifically the turbo 911 RS, something I think from the 70s, was it 80s? Yeah, but no, Nickel, the nickel silicone carbide was developed in the 60s, but they only gained traction in the 70s onwards. Suzuki even used something with an S, S-E-A-C or something, but it's a Suzuki proprietary Nickel. It's like it's a silicone something based aluminium, and Hayabusa was, ironically enough, which I wouldn't afford, eh? Gear before she ran out of horsepower. Let me just quickly make a turn.